Welcome, everybody, to beautiful Georgetown, Kentucky, Bird's Nest Stadium on a perfect Friday night for high school football. We've been blessed this season for sure. It's time for Great Crossing to have its date with Frederick Douglass. If you tuned in about 3 weeks ago, you saw Scott County absorb a 41-0 loss from the Broncos, who are ranked number 1 in Class 5A. So far, that's the only loss on the Cardinals' ledger. And then the very next week, Scott County knocked off Great Crossing 43-0. So that's kind of the pecking order right now in this district. Great Crossing wants to bounce back and have something to say about that. They'll have their chance tonight against a team with double-digit Division I offers. I'm Cal Oakes along with Austin Haywood. And Austin, we were talking off the air. This is a pretty tough assignment for anybody in Class 5A right now. Great Crossing's dealing with some injuries that aren't going to help in that regard.
Yeah, that hurts. Ideally, it's an athlete matchup on both sides, and you put athlete versus athlete and power versus power, and a little bit undermanned tonight. Hope that you go out and just fight. That's kind of what you want, is to show some grit, let them know you're there, and play through the whistle, and give them all you got to the end of the game.
Yeah, Great Crossing has always acquitted itself well in this series. A couple of years ago in the playoffs, Caleb Perry had a monster game against them over there. And then last year, it was a pretty decent game for a half in the regular season until Douglas pulled away late and put the running clock on at the very end. But we're about to have the national anthem here with the Great Crossing Band. We'll be back with you on the other side to talk a little more about what we expect from tonight's matchup. Back with you, everybody. Cal Oakes along with Austin Haywood. And we were talking just before the anthem about Frederick Douglass and their strength. The strength of this Great Crossing team has been defense, obviously been their calling card. You subtract the Scott County game, they've given up an average of about 8 points per game and less than 200 yards per contest. Obviously, they're facing a Douglas offense. It's a little bit of a different animal, but at least when you have that kind of defensive ability, when you can get in the backfield and give the quarterback some trouble, cut down on his time to throw. And plus, this is a little more conventional offense than Scott County runs. Scott County runs a wing tee that not a lot of teams in Kentucky run anymore. At least this is something that might be similar to what Great Crossing is used to seeing.
Yeah, Douglas's offensive prowess is based in trying to beat you around the corner on the edge, get loose in space, and Great Crossing got some athletes that can help contain that a little bit. With Scott County, they do such a good job of coming at you relentlessly, where it's over and over and over again. And what for 4 times in a row, maybe a 2-yard gain or a 1-yard loss pops into a 13-14. And that wears on the defense. I'll be interested to see how Great Crossing comes out tonight. And again, just fight, on the line of scrimmage and make good plays and make tackles. That's what you want to do tonight, what you want to see from the Warhawks tonight.
Ryan Fisher, of course, leads that defense. The West Virginia commit has 10 sacks. He's among the leaders in the state. and the leader in 5A. It's been a couple weeks since he's had one, but last week against Montgomery County, he did everything but that. He was in the backfield early and often, didn't give the Indians much time to throw, and I think that's a key tonight. If he can find a way to harass Cole Carpenter a little bit, the quarterback for Douglas, and maybe give him some food for thought, it gives you a chance to maybe get one of those, make one of those plays in space if you're the secondary, and get a defensive touchdown and give your team a lift that way.
Sure, that's the kind of things you got to have. Turnovers, maybe big plays on defense, and get some good field position on the other side there. And that's what's nice about having a kid like Orion. He can make plays on his own. He's just an athletic freak and super fun to watch.
Of course, in the middle, you've got Zach Morris and Pilot Lacasco, who've been just so tough. They've racked up the tackles in bunches this year.
Yeah.
This is a defense that's got a lot of veterans on it. Drake Bird, he's what phase of the game does Drake Bird not contribute in for Great Cross? Last week he punted for the Warhawks and had a fake punt that really kind of changed the tone of that game in terms of field position. Gave Great Crossing a big lift as they went on to beat Montgomery County. But so this is a team that doesn't back down from anyone, and they're certainly going to be tested tonight.
I'd be interested to see the total tackles. I've got it somewhere, I'm sure, for Pilot Lacasco. I mean, the kid's played since he's a freshman, and he may have been the leading tackler every year since his freshman year.
Yeah, I think maybe his freshman year, Caleb might have been, but other than that, I think he's probably been at or near the top every year, and he's definitely going to be the career record holder, I think, when he graduates, and put that number out of sight as Kevin O'Doherty and Orion Fisher are the captains tonight, walking to the center of the field with Coach Ricky Bowling to meet Nathan McPeak and the Douglas captains for the coin flip. Definitely want to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month as we see the banner for Douglas, Go Fight Win, with the pink ribbon in the eye and win, and we see the pink pom-poms for the Warhawk cheerleaders tonight. So a cause that we want to recognize every chance we get. We'll talk some more about fall sports and where it's going for the Warhawks. They've had a busy week this past week in soccer, and it's about to rev up for volleyball coming up. We'll talk about that at halftime as we are winding down the fall season. After tonight, 2 more football games in the regular season. It'll be a Thursday night district game for the Warhawks here against Grant County this coming week, and then a road trip to Martha Lane Collins to wrap it up. Then we'll see where the RPI and all that shakes out. A little different this year. It's a good thing in a lot of ways.
I think it's refreshing. I do. I think it's very refreshing.
There's at least a fighting chance of one of the local teams getting through the first couple of weeks. Man, having to play at district only the past few years, it's been a Douglas Invitational.
Yeah, well, I was in the same boat when I coached. I was at East Jessamine High School, and we were in the same district as Catholic and Boyle County for for 4 years. Yeah, and so of those 4 years, one of those two teams won the state championship every year. And the following year, they flip districts, and we go into Franklin County and Anderson County, who proceed to go on to 2 of the 3 next state championships. So it's always nice when you get some change of scenery. And we also went to the sister district concept, where we went outside of our own district, which was tough when we were in those, because we turned around and played the same teams the first round. And man, when you're in a tough district, it leads to some serious battles there.
It is, no matter where you go in 5A. I mean, it's not going to be a picnic. If you look from top to bottom, right down through the middle of the pack, it's all quality teams. We were talking before we went on the air, the Great Crossing Collins game is going to be a war in a couple of weeks, and those are 2 teams that are in that kind of that middle group, probably from about 9 through 15 right now, and wanting to improve their spot as much as they can.
Yeah, solid football in 5A.
Douglas will kick off. Cooper Ranvier, he is a multi-sport fall star, soccer and football. Probably his future is as a D1 place kicker on the football side, but we shall see. He's going to kick it off to Drake Bird and others back. Most of the time he kicks it through the end zone, and that is the case here. Warhawks will start on their own 20-yard line. That was a factor in the Scott County game. The Cardinals had to go 80 yards every time they touched the ball, and it's just a chore against this defense.
Yeah, something not seen a whole lot in high school football is a kicker who can, one, put it in the end zone, or put it down in the corner and put put the offense in a bad spot, maybe even worse than the 20 coming out.
Yeah, that's you kind of choose your poison, because if you do catch the ball on the 1 yard line, if it's at a tough angle, they're coming at you.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Under center will be Caden Bays. That's a different look, as quite often they go with the pistol formation, and we've got jumping everywhere.
Pink flags from the officials tonight.
Pink flags to go with the theme we mentioned. We'll see which way this goes. I saw both sides jump. They're going to call it on the Warhawks, so they'll mark it off. 5 yards will be first and 15 from the 15, not the start you want, because you're already backed up with the touchback, and now you're behind the chains before you even get started. Caden Bays, his third start in a row in place of Gabe Nichols, who we would hope to see before the end of the season and playoffs as he continues to battle his way back from illness. They will hand it straight ahead to Jakeese Patterson, and he'll get swamped for a loss of a couple. Jakeese had over 100 yards at Montgomery County last week, but as we said, just tough to find your footing against this defense in their pursuit.
So happy for Jakeese, a kid who's battled injury the past couple of years. Him and his brother both have been hurt, and to see them have a healthy senior year is definitely a blessing, and I'm so happy to see them have some success this year.
It's been a running back by committee, but the past couple of games, Jakeese has padded his lead as far as the yardage. He's close to 500 yards on the season. Had a good game against Scott County as well. There's a handoff and a lot of room across the 20 for Jakeese to the 25, so good yardage on second down. Pickup of a dozen will make it third and manageable. Call it 5 yards at the 25.
Looks like the Warhawks maybe have gone to, an offense that can control the clock a little bit, shorten the game, keep that clock moving, and keep this thing within reach. With a little wrinkle to their offense.
Remember, Team 1 had that triple option that they used to kind of do that to get the, and it really worked the second half of that season.
It did.
Help them get the win over Grant County and have a couple other close calls. A little hard count, and I'm not sure the defensive player from Douglas is pointing at Great Crossing, but yeah, it is going to be marked off against the Warhawks. So twice now the count has fooled his own team from Caden Bays, and that will make it 3rd and 10.
1 step forward and 2 steps back. It's not good against this defense.
No. Seen a lot of false starts this year. The other team across town has had its problems in that department as well. Haven't seen it as much from the Warhawks, but again, different quarterback, different offense, as you mentioned, and a lot being thrown at the young man here in a short amount of time. Receiving core has had its share of injuries as well.
Yeah.
And just no time to throw from Bays as he gets dropped. And if that's a fumble, it's going to be a walk-in touchdown. We shall see. Yes.
Touchdown on the field.
A sack and a fumble and a recovery by number 44 for Frederick Douglass. That is Brandon Brooks taking it 5 yards to the house and putting Douglass on the board. So Douglass and that vaunted offense haven't even had to take the field, and with 10-12 remaining in the first quarter, they're already on top with Ranvier's extra point pending.
Douglass utilizing the swinging gate extra point here, which I'm a fan of. Gives you some wrinkles there, especially not in high school football. It's hard enough to prepare, throw in one more wrinkle, which is something they can do with the guys they have.
Yeah, it is a well-oiled machine that they have in all three phases.
Yeah.
Ranvier had a goal off a free kick against the Warhawks in the region quarterfinals in soccer. That one, though, he punched it low. It might have been blocked. And that's a rare miss.
Yeah.
And it's 6-0.
Take a win where you can get one.
So Brandon Brooks with the easy scoop and score. And the Broncos lead 6-0. Less than 2 minutes in.
Not the start the Warhawks wanted. A couple of positive plays, only to shoot themselves in the foot.
Brandon Brooks, defensive lineman, senior, 5'9", 225, picking up the touchdown there. And Ranvier will kick it off again, and guess where it's probably going to go? I mean, they had a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after one of their touchdowns against Scott County, and he kicked it off from the 25 and still landed at just about the 1 yard line.
And that's the kind of thing that that lands him in that realm of Division I kicker. You can put it deep, you can put it in the corner, you can put it wherever you need to. That's a rarity in high school football.
It's an elite skill to have at this level. And he certainly kicks a lot of extra points for this team. He leaves it shy there. I don't know if that was intentional or what, to see if they could pin him deeper, but Bird returns it across the 20. Drake Bird to the 23, and that's where the Warhawks will go back to work.
Swiss Army knife, Drake Bird.
He is. He is another one of those multi-sport guys, a star on the baseball team and in every phase here in football. Holds on kicks. He punted last week. He's in the secondary, and he's one of the leading receivers. In fact, he might be the leading receiver in terms of receptions after last week. He had a bundle.
Yeah. Great kid. Great on and off.
Won that academic award at from the rivalry game there.
Yeah, I think GPA over 4.0. Great kid.
He split out to the left. They're going to hand it off to Patterson. Again, no room at the end.
Just a wall of white.
Maybe they'll give him a yard of forward progress. No, that's where the marker was in the first place. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
The Broncos in these orange and white uniforms reminiscent of the early Miami Hurricanes in the early 90s.
What it reminds me of every time I see it. It's all about the U.
Yeah, those guys look maybe like they should play at the University of Miami.
I mean, you think about all the guys they've graduated. I said this on the Scott County broadcast. You had some hope that maybe they would tail off a little bit. They have 2 linemen at top 10 programs. Well, Kentucky was in the top 10. Now they're not, as the Warhawks hand it off once again and get little to nothing. Caden Allen, the ball carrier, and you like getting him his carries against this team because at least he's kind of a load to bring down.
Yeah, he's physical. He's strong, big, strong legs, can break a few tackles in terms of yards. Caden started his career at Frederick Douglass and transferred his sophomore year. So probably knows some of those guys over on the other side of the ball.
He has been a mainstay here the past 3 years on offense and defense. And he had a couple of monster games as a running back over the past couple of years against Henry Clay in particular. 3rd and 10, they'll run a sweep with Smoke Johnson, and Isaiah gets buried inside his own 20. It'll be a loss, and the Warhawks will have to punt.
It's hard to get outside on these guys. There's so much team speed, and even Smoke, who can fly. Maybe one-on-one, but when you have white jerseys come at you in waves, it is a tough way to go.
Johnson's getting some interest from D1 schools. He's got D1 breakaway speed. We saw it last week at Montgomery County. Once he gets in the secondary, he's gone. But that's going to be something you're hard-pressed to do tonight against Douglas. Standing back at the 6-yard line is fair. He will kick it. He will try to angle it, but at midfield, there's going to be a lot of room there. And across the 30 before being brought down. I believe it was Cameron Dunn. And the Broncos will have a short field. They'll start at the 28 of Great Crossing, make it the 29. Nope, 28.
I'd like to see the Warhawks come out here and, again, be physical up front, hold your ground and be physical and make Douglas work for those yards.
I don't know how they scored, but Scott County is up 7-0 at Montgomery County, 9:01 remaining in the first quarter. We will continue to monitor that score. I expect that one to – they're certainly a heavy favorite in that game, too. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I would say they impose a will on Montgomery, and that may be a quick game there.
They've had back-to-back shutouts. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up with 3 in a row, although that's a Montgomery County team that can throw the ball a little bit, as Great Crossing found out last week. They did a good job slowing them down. Putting a new ball in play here. Not sure why. It's certainly not a rainy night here at Bird's Nest Stadium. Beautiful football weather.
Has been all year. I mean, it's been crazy the weather we've had this year.
Yeah. The last few weeks, it's been nice and cool. Temperatures starting the game in the 60s tonight. It'll probably get down into the 50s before we're done. And, I think we had one lightning delay in week 3. And other than that, not a drop here. Didn't even rain that night. We just had to hold off the start. Run up the middle for the Broncos. Ball's on the turf.
The Warhawks got it.
Methinks they did. And there's contact and pushing and shoving going on. Did LaCasco come up with it?
Looked like Pilot LaCasco.
Or are they going to whistle it dead? Nope, second down.
Oh,
so
wow.
all's for naught, as they're going to say down by contact.
And it's
But
a break the Warhawks could use.
yes,
there.
it is. We talked about the importance of getting those turnovers. Zach Morris supplied the hit, but apparently the ball was said to have been out before Pilot came up with it. Second down and 7. Right out the Warhawks 25. Cole Carpenter in the shotgun. He will fake to his running back, throw it to the left flat. Made a man miss, dragging a second would-be tackler to about the 5. Is number 5, Tylon Webb.
Yeah, they do some stuff you just don't see in high school a lot of times, unless you have some guys who can really play. Right there, they pulled the backside guard as a decoy, right? the only RPO out to the outside. Just it's hard to stop.
Caden Allen made the tackle, but it's first and goal. Now we've got a whistle. It's going to be a official's timeout or a Warhawks timeout.
Warhawk timeout.
With 7:16 to play in the first quarter, as they will try to stop the Douglas offense from punching it in for the first time. If you're just joining us, Douglas up 6-0 on a scoop and score, a strip sack that led to a 5-yard fumble return by Brandon Brooks. This game presented by our proud Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network sponsors. There's a bunch of them. I don't have my script in front of me, so I'm reading off the billboards. It's easier when people aren't standing in front of them, and tonight they're not so far. So thank you, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Hoghead Trailer Sales, DMK CPA, Burger King, Clark's Pump and Shop, Bluegrass Orthopedic, sponsors of the Billy Hicks Classic coming up when basketball time is here. It's New Year's Eve if you're a basketball fan in Kentucky, folks, because tomorrow morning is, I guess you'd probably be allowed to practice at 12:01 tonight if you wanted to.
The old midday madness. Jersey
Mike's, Kroger Hometown Pickup, Sword Performance, the official sports drink of Bird's Nest Athletics. Chick-fil-A under construction, so every day is Sunday right now, but they'll be open soon enough, and you can get your fix very soon. We're looking forward to that.
Too much.
And just too much athleticism from the Broncos, who walk in once again on the end around. It's TJ Horton. He is headed for Ball State. Or at least that's his big offer right now. I don't know if there's been a commitment or not. And then you'll see.
Horton's a little bit, he got a little bit of a limp right now. I don't know if he maybe pulled something right there or turned the corner or what. He's got a little bit of.
He's a little bit too fast rounding that corner.
Yeah, a little bit of hitching that giddy up.
He's kind of hunched over right now, but he's heading back to the huddle. Of course, we'll see Ty Bryant, the UK commit. Probably going to be playing defense in college, but he is a threat on the offensive side as well. They will go for 2 after the missed PAT. Carpenter will roll to his right. He runs out of time and overthrows it, throws it into the Great Crossing band, incomplete. Score will stand at 12-0 with 7:10 remaining after the 5-yard touchdown run by TJ Horton. Life comes at you quick when you're playing Frederick Douglass, Austin.
They come in bunches.
And the offense only had to go 28 yards in this case for its first score of the game to make it 12-0.
Be interested to see if the Warhawks stay under center here, if they go back to their traditional.
Yeah, they've tried that. How much do you want to take some chances here and maybe give your offense a chance to maybe give your court? They gave him one chance to make a throw, and he just had no time and got sacked, and it turned into a touchdown for the other team. So you got to pick your poison. Darned if you do, darned if you don't. Choose your cliche. But when you're playing this team, it is all the above.
Another short kick looks like.
Yeah, they're taking the chance with their special teams tonight, or maybe Ranvier saving his leg for soccer as they have a game tomorrow for the 11th region title.
Got a little chippy last night in the semifinal game.
It got chippy for the second year. I don't remember if the game got cut short last year or not, but the same two teams had the same problems. And last night the refs, about 5 minutes to go, said, "That's it. We're done."
Yeah, when he called that one.
I saw some videos and some still photos that I'll just say were not pretty, and I wasn't there, so I won't say any more than that. But a lot of people accountable for that, and it's an unfortunate thing. Warhawks return it to the 21, so at least they're not starting on the 20 once again.
Every yard counts.
And they are in the shotgun formation. It is Bays handing off for a loss of a yard.
It's going to be tough either way, and I don't know if maybe they may be more comfortable going back to their traditional offense. Probably a wider playbook at this point, using that offense. Probably limited under center in a short week, trying to prepare and switch a little bit there.
Jakees Patterson on the carry once again, loss of about a half a yard, so it'll be second and a long 10. If you're in the area tomorrow morning, freshman game, Battle of the Birds, Great Crossing, Scott County, 10 a.m. start. Come out and support the next wave of Hawks and Cards. Again, Patterson, and again, not much running room. He had that one nice run on the first drive that was kind of negated by a false start penalty on the very next snap. And nothing doing since then. Get it back about to the original line of scrimmage. Call it 3rd and 10 from the 21. Clock ticking first quarter down to 6 minutes. It's already 12-0. In favor of the top-ranked Frederick Douglass Broncos. They've yet to win that 5A title. It's kind of a do-or-die year, as they may be headed to 6A after this, more than likely. Bays in the right flat, complete, but taken down there. I was going to say, it's Javante Dean. They announced it as number 11, Zachary Kelly, over the PA. Those numbers are hard to pick up from the other sideline, which is where Dean caught the ball. He's tackled at the 26. It will be 4th and 5, and the Warhawks will have to punt once again. I think I would angle it out of bounds as much as possible here. I mean, you don't want to shank it, but
it's tough when you got two guys back there too.
They have two speedsters. They have both Bryant and Kenny. This is Bryant. There's a flag. So, and we have an injury. And that was one of those that you saw as soon as it happened, a hard collision. Got his arm tangled up. It's Drake Bird, and you just hope it's nothing too serious, as he, as we have mentioned, is a force on everything. Now he's kind of gripping his shoulder. And so Drake Bird will come to the sideline and probably to the treatment of the trainer here and see what's going on. But Douglas will back up as the holding call on the return with 4:57 remaining here in the first quarter. And that's going to be from the spot of the foul back to the Douglas 41. So Broncos will have their longest field to work with of the night. It's only their second offensive possession. The other game we're following, Scott County goes up 14-0 on Montgomery County. Good run defense here by the Warhawks as Ryan Fisher was in on a tackle along with Lacasco. Not much there. I think Carpenter kept it, actually. Lawrence Stroh in on the tackle as well. And one on the play, it's going to make it a 2nd and 9 for the Broncos. Carpenter will hand off. It's Horton. Room around the right corner, past midfield. Finally pushed out of bounds by Ryan Fisher at the Warhawk 42. Just so many ways to attack you, this Broncos offense. 7-0. They have their 41-0 win over Scott County was their lowest point total of the year. They've been in the 50s in every other game. Defense has helped them. Special teams has helped them. Defense has helped them tonight with a touchdown already, but they're looking to go up by a 3rd score before the end of this first quarter. Carpenter in the shotgun. Lone setback is Horton. Carpenter will look left flat, finds his man open. Turn and go across the 30, wrapped up at the 28 is Tylon Webb. He's made a couple of catches here early, made his presence felt. Webb, also a star on the basketball team. He's got Tate Johnson split out to his right, does Cole Carpenter. In motion is Howard, the tight end, and a hard count almost drew the Warhawks offside. And now we will have a flag. I think it will back up Great Crossing 5 yards closer to its end zone and make it 1st and 5 for the Broncos at the 23. Thomas Howard, the tight end, he's going to Louisville to play baseball. So even the guys that aren't D1 football guys are gifted athletes. And no end in sight, although the good news for Great Crossing is they beat Douglas in a freshman game a couple of weeks ago. Scott County has done the same thing at that level. That pass was blocked, I think, by Fisher. Got one of those 6'6" mitts up in the air and knocked it down. Not much harm or foul for the Broncos, as it will still be 2nd and 5 as they are on the cusp of the red zone once again. At the 23-yard line of Great Crossing, Howard in motion, Carpenter with Horton the lone setback. Warhawks tried to blitz up the middle, and that just left a big seam for number 26 to gallop to the end zone. Devon Hart, a 23-yard touchdown run. The Warhawks kind of sold out there a little bit, and once Hart made that first would-be tackler miss, it was all daylight. And the Broncos are in command, 18-0 in the PAT. We'll see if they kick it or go for it. They'll do that swinging gate formation again. Ranvier is on the field, so we think they will kick. They had a kick partially blocked or kind of knuckleballed it on the missed PAT earlier, and then they went for 2 the second time and overthrew it. Holding is Bryant. Coming in, again, almost blocked, but the play was whistled dead. It was a false start. They'll push it back 5 and have to do it again. I think if they say it was a dead ball, yeah. Say the Warhawk special teams are coming off the field like their work was done, but they'll have to line it up again, spot it on the 8-yard line, and Ranvier, not that the 5 yards will make much of a difference. His range is a good 40 to 50. I've seen some video on him, not in game situations, but in practice type deals, hitting 60-yard field goals that he's posted. So it's a kid with a lot of leg and a bright future. Lacasco coming in off the edge again. He's done that every time tonight, but this time Ranvier puts it through. And it is 19-0 with 3:29 remaining in the first quarter. Cal Oaks, Austin Haywood's been joining me periodically on the broadcast. He's doing some athletic administrative business right now, but he'll be back soon. I want to thank you all for joining us all season long. A couple of big ones coming up. They both involve Scott County. Next week, they will play the number 2 team in 6A, Louisville Ballard, right here, 7:30 Friday night on the network. And then the following Friday, to wrap up the regular season, they'll host Lexington Catholic, the number 1 team in 4A. So, battle of the classes in those final 2 weeks of the regular season to get Scott County ready for the playoffs. They're at Montgomery County tonight, putting it on Montgomery County. The Indians were down 14-0 at last check. We will continue to follow that one. Johnson, Dean, and Kelly back for the Warhawks to receive the kick from Ranvier. 19-0. Frederick Douglass on top. And that ball will land on the A in the middle of Warhawks in the end zone for a touchback. Caden Bays on the Warhawks offense will go back to work at their own 20-yard line. Down 3 scores early. Warhawks came in with a record of 6-1. As we said, you subtract the Scott County game, and their defense has been at the top of 5A. But this is just a different type of competition. I've seen this Douglas team every year, and every year I say they should win 5A. This year, I really can't imagine how they would not be the favorite. Across the 20, so a little bit of progress on first down, 2, maybe 3 yards for the Warhawks. That was Clayton Shaddix. He was a good factor last week at Montgomery County, both running the ball and catching little passes out of the backfield. But those swing passes just don't work against Douglas. The speed that they have on the outside, they will run it down and you'll lose yardage. So you've got to try to do what the Warhawks are doing, which is be steadfast about running the ball up the middle. There's just not a lot there. A little bit more there to the 25. Across the 25, Shaddix gets 3 more. 3 yards and a cloud of turf. 3rd and 4 for the Warhawks as they seek their first down of the game. It's been their shortest down and distance situation on 3rd down. They had a 3rd and 5 that got wiped out by a false start. Now it's 3rd and 4.
So they pull some out of the old playbook here. Maybe a little trickery.
Trickeration. See what they do. You got to pull out all the stops in a game like this, although you don't want to put yourself in a worse predicament either. Bays will throw it, and Kelly wants a holding call. He puts his hand in the air saying somebody had a hold of my jersey, but nobody picked it up, and the ball wasn't even close to any other Warhawk or any other Bronco, and Great Crossing will punt for the 3rd consecutive series. The first series of the night ended in a turnover and a touchdown. Isaiah Kinney and Ty Bryant back at midfield. That's always bad news to catch the punt. Thinking Cameron Dunn must be out of the lineup tonight. He's usually the guy that returns over there on the left side, and we haven't seen him in any receiving situations either. A bad snap. Jesse Fair will have to go back and get it, and he is in trouble. He fumbles it again at the goal line, and someone from Douglas picked it up. It's a touchdown for Tashawn Benford, another senior, and another non-offensive touchdown off a bad snap on a punt for Douglas.
All the things we said we could not see tonight. If the Warhawks
seeing them all.
Around, yeah, just pick your poison with that.
Kick for Ranvier to make it 26-0. Nope, they ran a little gadget play instead. They snapped it to somebody other than the holder. They punch it in.
I'm not sure the reason for that. That doesn't get you any closer to 36.
No, it doesn't, because you're off that sequence now. But see, I wouldn't put a play like that on huddle if I were in a game that I was already winning 25-0. But
it kind of goes
that's their
thing.
choice.
Yeah, same thing with the Warhawks and trick plays is almost like this one. You just hold it.
You don't want to burn
pocket.
one.
Yeah.
You know, in the NFL or in college, you might train your punter to try to just kick the ball out of the end zone and take the safety. But it's hard for a high school kid to have the presence of mind to do that when it's a very much a part-time gig. $27-0, but as you mentioned, it'll take not one but 2 scores to get it to the running clock threshold. 1:51 to play in the first quarter.
Another touchback.
Ranvier has put it through the end zone 3 times and dropped it on the 1-yard line twice. He can do whatever he wants, basically. He's just kind of showing off. Scott County has scored again on the opening play of the second quarter to make it 21-0 in Mount Sterling. So you're not missing anything by tuning in to us, folks, because that one is not a whole lot closer and isn't going to be. First and 10, do it again at the 20 for the Warhawks.
Back to
And
shotgun
bobbled
flip.
the snap and busted play, and it's on the ground again, and guess who has it? Douglas. Number 22 comes up. And this time it's Trayshawn Binford. I'm guessing they might be twin brothers. They're both seniors. They're both 5'10", 185. So by process of elimination, wow, this is getting out of hand quickly.
They definitely, you can see the effect of some of the injuries they've had, both on the offensive line and quarterback. Some of those plays are just plays of inexperience that are detrimental.
Right at the 20-yard line, so in the red zone again. Carpenter will go for the deep shot to Howard, just overthrew him by a little bit as Thomas Howard had 2 steps on Pilot LaCasco and Caden Allen, but Carpenter missed him. Second and 10. I was saying while you were gone, it's just an embarrassment of riches. Even the guys who aren't going to play college football like Thomas Howard are going to play D1 baseball. It's just no matter who you are in this Douglas roster, you're somebody.
That's exactly right.
Carpenter clapping his hands, trying to draw the jump. Doesn't. Now looks over to the sideline. He'll use up the play clock down to 5. Game clock is frozen at 1:40 after the incomplete pass. Quick throw to Bryant. He'll pick it up. It was not a lateral. It's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 10. So this is Douglas helping out a little bit here with the incomplete passes. One of the better down and distance situations the Warhawks have had them in tonight, but they're on the edge. They're well within Cooper Ranvier's field goal range.
Yeah, I would say just for sake of gameplay here that if it's not a first down, they'll go for the kick here just to get some experience for them.
And that'll put them within 6. So they need 2 scores, and that would be one of them. Yeah, Ranvier.
Maybe run to the right here.
Now they're going to throw it, and Caden Allen had it well covered as Howard again, and Allen celebrates. He did a nice job there.
That's all you can ask at this point. Show a little fight, like I said at the beginning. You got to make them know you're here, keep fighting, play fundamentals when you can, and try not to have those silly penalties and silly turnovers.
4th and 10, we'll see. The Broncos leave their offense on the field. So
a little surprised by that. I thought they might give a shot.
They might, here.
Big stopper for the Warhawks.
They're pretty confident in their offense, I think. Howard in motion. Carpenter with the shotgun snap. Throws it to Howard, and he will have a first down. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Reaches for the pylon. He's going to be marked out of bounds just shy at one referee standing on the 2 and one standing on the 1. Either way, 1st and goal.
Call it the 1.5.
Yeah, now they're marking it at the 2. So we'll call it the 2 with 1:23 to play. So all of 7 seconds went off the clock in 2 plays. Douglas works quickly. Zach Morris saved the touchdown temporarily by pushing Howard out of bounds, or at least down to the turf. Carpenter hands off to Ty Bryant, who hits the corner, pancakes a Warhawk tackler, and gets the touchdown. 33-0, 1:18 to play.
Is there a 3-point play to get this clock rolling early in the first?
Yeah, we're all the love in the world for the good guys tonight, but they're on the business end of it right now.
Yeah.
Ranvier will kick it, we think, although they snapped it to an offensive lineman on the last or a guy wearing an offensive lineman's number playing tight end.
Show the big guy some love when you can.
Yeah, he'll tell his grandkids all about it. The story will get larger as time goes on.
On the roof.
Put it on the roof. I'll tell you what, though, Pilot's been coming in from that edge all night long tonight and selling out to try to get the block. He did on one occasion. 34-0 with 1:18 to play in the opening quarter. Well, folks, Douglas, the number one team in 5A as advertised, well on their way to 8-0. 41 points against Scott County was their lowest total of the season. They're only 7 away from that. One more district game for the Warhawks Thursday night at home against Grant County. That, hopefully for the Warhawks, will be the flip of this based on records and common opponents and things of that nature. Ball goes through the end zone again. Warhawks will start over again at the 20-yard line.
Rinse and repeat, seems like. Yes. No, don't forget, Thursday night's an early start, 6:30.
6:30, one of those school night starts. Mm-hmm. Scott County had one of those up at Grant County a couple weeks ago.
It'll also be football senior night on Thursday, so get here even earlier.
If the volleyball team does what we all want it to do, the fan base is going to be divided that night, and so is the local reporter. But we'll do the best we can. Now, probably pay homage to the volleyball team since it's playoff time. And
excited for the volleyball team.
They're on a roll. I'll tell you what, both volleyball teams in this county are on a roll going into their district
right now. Yeah, so
9 in a row for the Hawks, 10 in a row for the Cards, and they're in different districts, so they could see each other at regions. There's a throw to Javante Dean thrown down quickly after a gain of a couple. Terrion Hicks.
2 catches tonight for Javante, young kid, sophomore.
Saw a little bit more of him last week, and I thought that was kind of what was leading to, as he played quite a bit down at Montgomery County, up at Montgomery County, over at Montgomery County, whichever preposition you want to use.
Sure. Beautiful field over at Montgomery. They have a beautiful
field. I love the setup there with the school right in the gym right in the background, kind of in a bowl. On another bad snap and picked up again by the Douglas Broncos. My goodness. It bears repeating. You can't make it harder on yourself than it already is against this team. Unforced errors.
Yeah, you keep on thinking it can't get any worse.
Well. And
then another fumble happens.
$28-0 Scott County at Moco, 7:51 to play in the half. Marciano Jenkins made like Rocky and picked that one up for the throw in the towel. There's a run to the 10-yard line. The towel's going to be thrown for us in 10 more yards, as that will put us over the running clock threshold. TJ Horton on the carry there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see in a few weeks how the RPI shakes out and who plays where.
Now, how does it work now? Is it localized at all for the first round? Or
no, I think it's not until the third round, I believe, when RPI kicks in. So the first round, we'll play that. We'll go north and play probably Highlands.
So it's a sister district kind of thing?
District, yeah, and that's Cubcath, Highlands, Cooper, Connor. Up that way.
So Scott County could end up playing a team like Cooper or Connor.
Yeah, one of the two is having a decent season. One is not very good. So, yeah, Scott County would host them that first round of the playoffs. We would probably go to Highlands. A fun place to play. Tough, but fun. Be a good challenge for the Warhawks. Hopefully they can get healthy and make a little push there at the end we want to see a team playing to their best of their ability. Right now, this is not the best version of the Warhawks.
No, they'll have a couple of games to get themselves in that position. next week should be a chance to get well, at least in terms of the one loss side of the ledger. And then, Collins will be a good test going in. That's a road trip and a good team, good quarterback. We've reached the end of the first quarter, folks. Douglas 34, Great Crossing 0, and Douglas has 2nd and 6 from the Great Crossing 9.
Douglas tonight had, I didn't realize it. I don't know that they've played here against us yet. We were scheduled to host them during the COVID year and ended up not.
Carpenter, no, I do believe this is the first time you've hosted Douglas here at the Bird's Nest. As every game I have been to has been over at the other facility, the farm, as it were. Carpenter found Darion Talbert right on the goal line. Warhawks stopped him at the 1, but they'll have 4 chances to punch it in from there.
One of those unique plays where his body was in the end zone. The ball did not cross.
No, he was kind of angled just the wrong way with the football. It's going to leave a little bit of work for probably TJ Horton or Ty Bryant. Horton's the lone setback right now. Howard in motion.
Oh, wow.
Is that a kind of a whoop? Now the ball's on the ground. Was that a Fumbarooski or
yeah?
They're pulling out all the stops here for no reason whatsoever.
I'm not sure why they did that. I think for the sake of not being a very smart play, you give the ball to the Warhawks on the 20 coming out. That seemed like a silly play.
I think they blew it dead anyway, so it'll be 2nd and goal.
Maybe he had a knee on the ground. I couldn't tell.
It was hard to tell where
he went in motion, came back.
It didn't look like the quarterback ever had the ball. It looked like he was trying to make like he did.
Yeah, the tight end went back under center, got the ball, and fumbled it on this exchange, I believe, from the center, which was seemed like a wasted motion, but
I don't know. Not my circus. But as I said, I wouldn't put a lot of those plays on film in a game like this. That was a high snap, but Carpenter will take it in as the Warhawk defense over pursued a little bit. It was probably going to be a handoff to Horton, but Carpenter finished the job, and that will send us to a running clock with 10:35 remaining in the second quarter. And we've matched the score the last time, assuming they make this extra point. The last time Douglas was here 3 weeks ago, of 41-0.
Ready to see the Broncos head on back to Lexington and stay gone for a while. Not welcome here.
with any luck, Great Crossing will be assigned to a different district next year in 6A, but we'll see where it goes.
Where that falls. Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
We've got December. December is going to be an interesting month. December, January, whenever they do that, at least put out the first draft of it. A lot of interested parties. Blocked again by Pilot Lacasco. This is not college, so they're not going to return it.
I love seeing it, though. You got to find ways to win, even down 40. Fight. I'll take it. I'll take it. Good for them.
He's come in from that left edge on every kick and either gotten to it or gotten close.
If only every phase of tonight's game was as effective as the kick block.
It's just been a case of the drops on basic snaps that has bitten the Warhawks. I mean, it's one thing you're playing Douglas anyway, but to only make them go 25, 30 yards every time.
I'll be interested to see what they come back in offensively. On Monday night, we played Douglas and JV, and starting quarterback goes down, gets hurt. Put Jacob Johnson, Isaiah's little brother, in a quarterback, and just ran kind of that wildcat offense where it's right, left, in between. And interested to see if maybe they go to that kind of formation for a little bit. Just maybe to give Bays a reset. At this point, it may be more mental than physical. So,
I mean, the game's over, running clock. Now you're just trying to get something going and feel good about yourself going into the final 2 weeks. Zachary Kelly on the return. He'll bring it just shy, maybe right at the 20, actually. So the same end result as just about every other kickoff tonight, and the Warhawks will go back to work this time, going from left to right on your dial or on your screen. Good to see Zachary Kelly back in the lineup, but his return coincided with Nichols' absence, so they haven't been able to use him much other than as a blocker and as a decoy, and it's been frustrating, I'm sure, for Zachary.
Such a great combo when Gabe and Zachary are both healthy.
Hand off to J.Keys Patterson, maybe a yard. The halftime stats will not be pretty. The Warhawks, the fumbles have probably cost them some yardage on the minus side of things. They have moved the ball a little bit, but they just haven't been able to move the chains.
Total yardage for Douglas is not going to be.
No, it's not going to be overwhelming. You're going to look at it and go, they got 125 yards and they're up 40 to nothing. Yeah. Well, that's how quickly it happens. Bays hands it off once again.
Cut.
Patterson cuts back and gets to the 25 and no further. So it will be 3rd and 5. They've been in that situation 2 or 3 times. You'd like to see them be able to get a first down and give the fans something to cheer about. Maybe get a little bit of a drive sustained here.
Yeah, still without a first down tonight, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get one here.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 is the closest they've been, and
you almost
threw an incomplete pass on that one.
Yeah.
Bays will try for it here and get picked by Isaiah Kenny. He leads the Broncos in that category. He makes a couple of guys miss at the 15 and high steps into the end zone for a 35-yard pick six. And there comes the flag, probably for unsportsmanlike conduct, but it won't take the points off the board. 8:08 to play in the second quarter. 46-0 pending the PAT. So we'll get to see Ranvier kick it off from the 25-yard line. Like we said, that probably won't hurt him much.
Yeah, I would say he can still reach the end zone from that distance.
Pretty close.
Close to it.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against the Broncos. It'll be assessed on the kickoff. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Frederick Douglas. Penalty assessed on the kickoff. Frederick Douglass doing to Great Crossing what they've done to 7 other teams. So if you're a Warhawk fan, don't read too much into it. If you've been hiding under a rock, Douglas has been lighting up most of their opponents around here for the better part of the past 6 seasons. That extra point is good, 47-0.
Yeah, they've got a great program there.
Yeah,
they've rolled in from places that can play there, and it's a
it is what it is. People can say what they want, but when you set a standard, people are going to want to come play for you. Not much has to be said. So.
Yeah, we've done that for years here in Georgetown, Scott County. I mean, it's a place to be. It's a great culture, and people want to be a part of winning traditions. That's every program which they have that foundation, and we're building that here. Scott County's built it for years there.
Yeah,
this is a tough time right now to play a team this good.
Both nests have D1 offers among their kids. Of course, Orion here at Great Crossing, and Buddy Collins got a Louisville offer the other day for Scott County. Yeah. Jasante Harmon with a offer from Southeast Missouri. So we have our share of athletes, but when you sequester them all in the halls of one school, it is tough to beat.
Tough sledding.
Now, that being said, I mean, there are a lot of good quality football teams, especially in 6A, that will be a different story when they have to play them, whether it be Trinity, Mayo, St. X, Ballard, you name it. Kickoff, as we said, from the 25, drifts beyond the 15, where Zachary Kelly puts it away, returns it to the 30, before he is lassoed there by number 45, Darian Neal. Clock will run, 7:45 and counting in the first half, 47-0. FDHS. Best starting field position of the night for the Warhawks. Let's see what they can do with it. Got to get a first down first. Patterson.
Good cut.
Good move up the middle. Longest run of the night. Takes Patterson 8 yards to the 38.
I don't know. We could start looking at numbers. I'm not sure how long Douglas leaves their guys in, especially on defense. They probably like to preserve a shutout.
I was going to say, even when they take some guys out, they don't drop off a whole lot. And I still see the likes of Kenny. I mean, you look at their tackling stats, and again, it's hard to tell because they've had running clocks in the first half in all but one game.
Good hard run.
Patterson close to the marker. We shall see if where the side judge, where both the side judges are coming in from, it'll be a first down, and it is. And there was much rejoicing with 6:36 remaining in the second quarter, and the fans do cheer in kind. At the 40-yard line, closing in on Douglas territory.
And the words of Ron Burgundy, this escalated quickly.
Yes. The Broncos are kind of a big deal.
They found something here. I don't know.
Yeah, up the middle. It's work for Patterson now, 3 in a row to the 43. It'll be 2nd and 7. He's mad at himself. He thinks he should have had more. I love watching Jay Keese run. I love watching him play no matter what the score. You can't tell what the score is by watching that young man play football.
I'm so happy again that him and his brother are both healthy. Like, it makes my heart really, and now he's out, as I say.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe he got up because he landed awkwardly, and now I'm afraid that's the case. I thought he was just mad at himself, but he might have twisted his ankle a little bit. Let's hope it's nothing more than that. Caden Allen gets a yard, maybe, and it'll be 3rd and 6. We have a Bronco down, and it's a big Bronco, just taking a while. That's a whole lot of Bronco. He is number 78. He's to his feet. Just John Sawala. He's listed at 230, and I'm here to tell you, if that's the same kid who's wearing 78 tonight, that is not accurate.
No, that's 230 up top. Probably another 78 or so on the bottom half.
There's a little bit of room, but not enough. The hole closed quickly, and it'll be 4th and 3, and we'll see what the Warhawks do.
The Warhawks are going to go for it.
What do you have to lose? Yeah. It would still be the longest field the Broncos have faced all night, but Jesse Fair's coming in as Allen stopped 3 yards shy. Allen kind of stomping around like he wants to go for it, but that's not going to be the call.
Yeah, I understand this. You don't want to give up your principles as a team
Yeah, you want to kind of control the game situation a little bit.
We need to execute here. This is the thing that's going to be frustrating if there's another bad snap or a bobble snap here. Good snap.
By my count, 4 turnovers in this first half. That is a beautiful punt by Jesse Fair. Takes the returner back inside the 15. He falls down, takes the knee unwillingly, and then there's a penalty. And I don't know who they're going to get that on. It came in late. As Pilot Lacasco and possibly Jeremiah Lowe exchanging words there. We shall see. Bryant was down at the 13. It may just be offsetting.
Push him back, way back.
Preferably into the field house and see if they can score from there. They probably can, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, they can find a crease. They're gone.
We'll see. Nope. Which way is he pointing?
Not sure.
Now he's pointing. He's like a scarecrow out there. He pointed to Douglas, so it's going to be half the distance to the goal line. That'll take him back to about the 7.
It's kind of momentum that Warhawks need. They turn around.
It's a kind of opportunity you just don't get every day.
Like a cruise ship here and turn it around.
So they got Jeremiah Lowe for taunting or doing something. You can talk when you're up 47-0. You just got to not do it right in front of the official, I think. Is
And
the
a lot of
lesson to
talking
be
this year.
learned there. They're at the 6. Yeah, they have earned the right to crow. Leading scoring offense, leading scoring defense in 5A. We said Great Crossing in that latter category has had a good season as well. But it's just tough when you're turning it over so many times. Carpenter gets Great Crossing to jump, and that will get 5 yards back. 1st and 5 for Douglas at the 12. 4:01 to play. I know that team well enough to know they would like to score again before the half, so we'll see a 4-minute drill here from the Broncos.
What's the over-under on time down the field? I'm going to say less than 3.
Yeah, I would say they've got an offense that doesn't take long.
So fast. Team
You
speed.
can't even go prevent here because they'll just pick you apart underneath. Score quickly anyway. Horton to the 15 where he's wrapped up. Good stop there. It'll be 2nd and 2. Was it Caden Allen?
Caden Allen, yeah. Hard-nosed kid.
Yeah, another kid who just keeps playing no matter what the score is. He was angry last week when they lost the shutout.
Yeah.
And just to tell you how intense he is. And that game was well in hand at that point.
Douglas is in no hurry here. They're going to take their time and get what they want, looks like.
Down marker. No, I guess it does say 2. I thought it said 3 from here, but it should be
Same play.
Should be 2nd and 1. They're just going to let their man work on the outside. He'll get knocked out of bounds. Good hit. Clock won't stop because it's a running clock. It is a 1st down. They'll have to move the chains. Horton to the 20. Horton hears a who, and he might hear some other sounds after that hit. That was a good shot by the Warhawks right along the sidelines. They'll mark it at the 19. Nope, back at the 18. They can't decide. And they've spent another 30 seconds, so that could be good for the Warhawks.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's good news.
Empty backfield here.
Yeah, they sent the back in motion. Now they'll throw it this way, and a lot of room down the left sideline. This could be an 81-yard touchdown if not for Isaiah Johnson. Now he'll cut it inside and get stopped at the 35. But that is a gain of 46 yards.
Yeah, you got to turn that back to the sideline there. You can't funnel it back in. Get it out to the sideline. Use the sideline as your friend there as another defender.
Tylon Webb with the catch and run. Give him 47 yards to the 34.
Great effort by Smoke there. It's a
he ran him down. We talked about his speed, and it is legit. Webb going to the sidelines, a little worse for wear. Carpenter will throw it inside.
That's
Lacasco.
Dangerous running back across the field.
Pushing the pile. I think they finally stopped his forward progress with a whistle at the 26. Douglas has all 3 of its timeouts and will use one here. Scott County leads 35-0 with 1:56, so they didn't go for 2 there. They're going to prolong the game. Their offense didn't have much chance to play last week before going to the running clock. So,
Really, Grant last week, is that?
Yeah, that was 36-0 before the end of the first quarter. So.
Yeah.
Grant, I believe, had a bye this week. They'll be 0-8 coming into the game here next Thursday at 6:30.
Grant County forever in the history books at Great Crossing High School.
They will be. They're going to answer to the trivia questions.
That's right.
It's like who gave up number 62 to Aaron Judge.
That's right.
6:30. It'll be on the NFHS network right now. I think it'll be announcer free, as I hope to be following one or both of our local volleyball teams that night. We'll see how that goes. And once again, a little antsy for the hard slap of the hands from Carpenter will get him 5 yards and a 1st down. as Great Crossing jumps offside. He's made the hard count work, and early in the game when Great Crossing tried it, they hurt themselves with it. It's just the little details that and the turnovers have really opened this game wide. 1:14 to play in the half. Broncos trying to pad a 47-0 lead. Wide open is Howard over the top. Stopped at the 1 once again.
Had a shot there. We were in the backfield and trying a little tight end release there over across the middle.
Pilot finally get him. Somebody.
He did. I think it was Pilot. Yeah, right at the 1 yard line.
Right at the 1, inside the 1.
Douglas should maybe take a knee here and just go on into the half.
I don't think they're going to. Somebody said they treat Great Crossing a little nicer than Scott County. I was like, were you at the game last year? Because there was a little disagreement at the end. I think Douglas will probably try to send a message, if anything.
Yeah, they're going to do what they do. Great stop.
Caden Allen, a 3-yard loss. Devon Hart, as usual, getting the ball on the goal line, but Douglas will have to call its second timeout and only has 23.9 seconds to get the job done here and finish this 94-yard drive potentially. $35-0 at the half. Scott County over Montgomery County. We're 23.9 seconds away from halftime here, where it is not that close. Warhawks will be still a very respectable 6-2 after tonight, which is exactly where they were last season. They'll have a game in which they'll be heavily favored, and then a game that should be a toss-up on the road the week after that to get ready for the 5A playoffs. Carpenter to Howard again, leaping in the back of the end zone, got a fingertip on it, but that was it. Now, are they going to stop the clock now? I don't even think they're going to do that. They might hustle and run another play. Yeah, they're going to use their final timeout with 12 seconds left.
You can't take it. You can't take it with you.
Now, basically, you've got to score on this play because the clock is not going to stop. So if you want to score badly enough, you better use your best play right here, Coach McPeak. The Broncos, we've said they've hit that 50 threshold in every game except for one, and they're desperately trying to do it again. They're headed for 8-0. I think they played Boyle County in the last game of the regular season. That's going to be another kind of like the game. Boyle had a frustrating loss for them, the Lexington Catholic last week, a big comeback by the Knights. So they're going to want to make their next game against the team from Lexington be a better outcome than that.
I can remember sitting here last year, that score of that game was surprising last year. Sitting there, and I kind of watched on Twitter as that game got out of hand pretty quick.
They will run an end around with Tylon Webb, who's caught a bunch of passes, and Caden Allen says no.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, folks.
A little warm fuzzy to go into the half as Douglas.
Clapping. That's great. Show a little life.
Douglas trying to punch it in. And
it's a rise out of the Warhawk crowd as well.
Goal line stand.
The theme tonight is under construction for the Kettle. Very fitting for the injury-plagued Warhawks tonight.
End around Tylon Webb, and he gets stopped shy of the goal line by Caden Allen. We'll have some halftime stats, and we'll have some halftime conversation, and we'll have a very quick second half, folks.
Amen.
Cow Oaks, along with Austin Haywood. We are here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network, bringing you Great Crossing Frederick Douglass football. Good guys are on the wrong end tonight. 47-0. The Hawks are facing a ginormous halftime deficit. We'll see if they can. They got a little bit of positive going on both sides of the ball there in the closing minutes of the half. Got a first down, got moving the ball a little bit with the running game, and then the goal line stand. So hopefully that'll translate to some good energy in the second half.
I think our goal should be to keep the combined score for the county as a whole under 100 points.
That'd be great.
I
So
mean,
right now
linings.
it's at 80, 90.
Yeah, we can maybe do that. One for the city of Georgetown.
I guess it's 88-0 if you combine the two games. And we'll feature iconic themes and score music from well-known spy and superhero themed movies. Shifting gears, we had the soccer regions this week, and good run for the girls. I know you've watched that team a lot this year, and the Lady Warhawks got a huge win over Lafayette. Huge not just because it got them to the semifinal round for the second time in 3 years, but it just kind of got them kind of broke that glass ceiling a little bit against Lexington powerful programs.
You know, it reminded me. You know, we've had a game like that about every year we've been here. The first year it was the Dunbar game with the boys. Last year was the Central game with the boys. Big game for the girls. And as I talked to some of them, it was strange to hear their response. You know, those girls play in a lot of big games. They play club soccer, but playoffs, the postseason in this region, it just has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
And the game Tuesday night was fun. You could tell there's some energy, even with the parents and the crowd in the stands. Just a really good feeling and a big win for them.
And it didn't feel like it. You know, sometimes you see a soccer game and you feel like a team wins because, you know, maybe the other team got unlucky or something.
Yeah.
For 75 minutes of that game, it looked like Great Crossing was the team that should win.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had told me that, you know, that the team that's dominated this series was in the blue uniforms and, you know, the team that hasn't was in the white, and I was a visitor from another planet, I would have believed you.
Sure, yeah. And went over there, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks probably, and got beat 4-0 maybe. It was
3,
not,
I think.
Yeah, not close. And
shutout.
It felt that not like the Lafayette team was a team that, you know, they're significantly better than the Great Crossing team. But they played hard and talk about a future coming up.
Yeah, 20 of the 23 players are either freshmen or sophomores.
Yeah, you hate to lose a player like Camry
Smith.
Golly.
She made a play at the end of that game, sacrificed her body,
Yeah.
banged her knee, was down for a minute or so. The game, once Central had the ball, there was, you know, a minute and a half left. You could tell it probably wasn't going to be the Warhawks night, and she ran a girl down with a 10-yard head start and broke up a run for what was probably a certain goal. And it was just so typical. Perfect way to punctuate her career, I thought.
Yeah, just a phenomenal player and a great run she's had starting at Scott County. And
she started every game in her 6-year high school career. JV at Scott County, 7th and 8th grade, and then every game varsity 9 through 12 at Great Crossing. And if you're graduating from high school right now, you had 2 years that were completely impacted by COVID.
Yeah.
So you've done something if you've had that kind of career in this era. So
she will have the opportunity to play at the next level. I don't know what her plans are.
Yeah, I don't either.
She's talked a little bit about it. Her, and anybody who has her, both as a student athlete and a soccer player, individually, will have a phenomenal person.
Special young woman.
Yeah,
and no question about it, she will be playing on after this. And she played Tuesday night, like she said it to me after the game. She said, I texted everybody during the day. I said, this is not going to be my last game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So neat to see a kid like that have the success. The boys got to the regions again. They had a tough loss to Frankfort, had a 2-0 lead and ended up losing 3-2. And that gave them the worst possible draw against Douglass. But, it's unlike what we're seeing tonight, other than the 5-minute sequence of that game, it was a stalemate. It was all 3 goals were scored in a window of about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, there are very few places to escape in this region when you get to the regional tournament. And
you can't play your own district, so you're immediately praying for the runner-up from one of the the only other non-Lexington district is the 44th.
Yeah,
and even that means you're going to play Central or Southern, who always has a good side. So it's tough.
But extremely happy and proud of both of those programs, and just the future is bright for both of them. Both is doing really well, and congratulations to them on a great season.
Yeah, just going in the right direction, the right trajectory for those programs. And then this week, volleyball. I believe it's Wednesday night. Great Crossing will take on Western Hills in the semifinals at the old, recently refurbished gym over there in Frankfurt. And that should be, a winnable matchup. Where it used to be them being the number one seed, but the tiebreaker went to Franklin County. The team split this year. Still the only district match in 4 years that Great Crossing has lost, but a lot has changed since then. It feels
wake-up call. I think it was a wake-up call.
Feels like it was a huge wake-up call. They won the rematch, and then they beat Scott County, and that really fueled this run at the end of the season. And they've got some key pieces back. Jazzy Calvert is back, and Riley Ellison had an injury. She's back, and it just feels like everything's trending in the right direction here as we at the right time for the Warhawks. We mentioned Scott County. They'll be playing Henry Clay. That's a matchup they've won 2 years running now in the regular season, and they'll have to do it again in order to break a region drought that dates back to 2015 for them. But this has been a historic season. 10-game, 10-match winning streak intact after a win over Lexington Catholic last night put the Cardinals at 23-8. So they're not ranked in that top 25, but they've got to be right on the cusp as well. The Warhawks are number 19, and I know it was a straight set victory, but having watched Great Crossing and Scott County go at, there wasn't a lot separating the two that night. So it's fun. It'll be fun to see if one or both can make a run into and through regions, and there's some good competition. Douglas, what sport are they not good in?
Yeah,
they are a threat along with Dunbar, but after that, there's some openings there to get through to the final potentially.
Yeah, and our volleyball program is one of those programs. It's kind of like, Coach Portwood when he coached softball. We'll play you anywhere, anybody, anywhere you want to play. They take on, and they build that schedule for postseason runs, which I'm a huge fan of.
Coach Ivetic said it to me last year, because last year's team, which was a team for the ages, they had some trouble early. They lost some 5-setters, and they lost to some region opponents. And he said all along, he goes, I will take a loss in August over a loss in October anytime.
Yeah.
It played out that way. So hopefully that is the case once again.
Yeah, an exciting run last year, and you love that energy. And again, postseason, everywhere is different, but in this region, in every sport, it just you feel the energy. You know what I mean? It's the games really matter. Every game is such a competitive game.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't many regions. Obviously the Louisville regions, and to some extent in some sports, maybe the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah.
But the 11th is really just where a lot of the power lies in some of these soccer and volleyball, especially just because it's so Lexington centric, and all the clubs are based out of there. A lot of them are. It is. It's a tough place to get your footing, but the fact that a new school like this has been able to do it in so many different sports really speaks volumes.
Yeah, proud of our commitment that our coaches have made, our players and student athletes have made, our parents have made. It takes a village to do this thing, and we look at it as if a sport is offered here, we're going to offer it to our kids, because it's such a great opportunity for them to be involved, and they've taken that and built it to some success, even with like esports and bowling and those sports that we've added over the past couple of years. So,
and as we said earlier, we're about 3 hours and 15 minutes away from it being high school basketball season in Kentucky. And if you're a Great Crossing fan, a lot of reasons to be excited on both sides. The boys' side, you've got a consensus, probably top 5 or 10 team in the preseason. I haven't seen any great preseason rankings yet, but anybody that doesn't put Great Crossing in that echelon is crazy, because that's where they're going to be for this year and probably the next 3 years.
Yeah. I'm excited to see them play. I see those guys in the hallways, and I know they've worked hard in the open gyms. The girls, I talk to them, they're excited.
New coach for the girls, Matt Walls, who is a legendary figure in the county. So,
Coach Walls is excited, and we talk a lot about, his progress and the things they're doing, and really excited to see them. The girls try out 10 tomorrow, then the boys in the afternoon. And we'll have team set tomorrow, and it's on after that. So
It's on like Donkey Kong.
That's right.
Oh, my good.
We talked earlier, busy first week, month, 2 months.
I was in a meeting the other day talking with my publisher, and I'm like, basketball season is about 6 weeks away. He's like, don't tell me that. I'm like, not only am I telling you that, I'm telling you that the first month is going to be hellacious.
Yeah.
We're going to start it off on the 28th of November with the girls' Battle of the Birds, and to get that out of the way. And then that first weekend is, I believe it's the Jersey Mike's Classic. Is that what they're calling it? With Ashland, with Blazer coming here to play Great Crossing. I think Scott County's in that as well.
Yeah, our girls play at 1 o'clock that day. Just a really cool event.
And that is only the prequel to the Billy Hicks Classic presented by BGO, which is going to be phenomenal. 5-day event this year, a 16-team event, 8 on each side, boys and girls. Some great competition, some great food, fun, and fellowship, as it were, and it's going to be a blast. So hope you can be there for that.
Yeah. Got some good news 2 weeks ago. Jacob Meyer from Holy Cross, who had transferred out of state to a prep school, has now returned to Holy Cross.
So that's going to make him somebody you want to come watch.
Man.
He was, I believe, the state's leading scorer. If he wasn't, he was darn close.
He was 38 a game. He averaged 49.5 at last year's Classic.
Did he decommit from Western Kentucky?
He decommitted. I don't know what went on there, but he decommitted from Western, moved out of state to a prep school, and now has moved back to Holy Cross. They'll be on Great Crossing's side of the bracket. So
could see him in the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just and he is a kid that for 2 years we watched, and he is a high energy, high level kid.
Yeah, I remember him a couple of years ago and thinking, wow, he's only a sophomore. Shoot.
Yeah, if you remember his sophomore year, he broke the goal at Great Crossing, brought it down to the ground.
Thing just.
I thought, oh man. Like the old Shaquille O'Neal, where it just slowly went down.
At least it wasn't like the Jerome Lane. Send it in! Where we had to go get the replacement.
Yeah. So excited to get that started. It's a busy time when fall sports are wrapping up and
to say there's no break for you. No, there's not really much of a break for me. I mean, we're talking once volleyball winds down in a couple weeks, it'll be football only, but not really because we'll have Meet the Warhawks.
Yeah.
You'll have all that stuff. Wrestling will be getting underway.
Excited for wrestling. You talk about a program on the rise, man. Coach Murdoch and those guys.
One of the top teams in the region and state last year.
Get after it.
Yeah, he is a guy that's really built the program quickly. And I'll admit, that was one of the sports that I thought when we split into 2 schools, I'm like, that might be one that's a struggle to get the bodies because they never really had a full complement when it was one team. But both have thrived. Scott County has started a girls program and really got some things going over there. And Great Crossing has just taken off beyond my wildest imagination. So that's been great.
Yeah, I enjoy watching those guys, and they have a great approach. And their focus when they go to those things is phenomenal, and that a lot of that is contributed to Coach Murdoch and his staff. But man, they are like laser focused when they get in there and get ready to wrestle, and I love watching them.
When is region cross country? That's going to be coming up.
That's coming up in 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah.
Boys got to have a shot to qualify for state, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, I don't know collectively what it takes to get to state.
I think you got to be in the top half at your at your region.
Yeah. But we've had a phenomenal year, with those guys and girls both. Excited to see how they finish.
Aiden Bailey's had a great year. They won the Stampede over at Scott County, and they won another meet earlier before that. So good things happening.
Yeah.
All over the place here. The other night during the soccer game, I saw softball already having an open field.
Yeah, Coach Sutton's got those guys.
Coach Heath Sutton taking over from a legend in Jeff Portwood.
Yeah. And you talk about some talent there. Man, the team that he has inherited should be really, really good.
Speaking of future Great Crossing Hall of Famers, Mr. Caleb Perry will be on the field in the game of the week tomorrow in college football.
People have asked me about that game, and, hey, look, Tennessee is tough. They're fun to watch. They're exciting, and
the line has moved a little deeper in Alabama's direction, but I don't know. That's interesting.
Excited for guys like Caleb, to see him succeed, and what a great kid and great family. Happy for the success. He's getting some clock down there in some different areas. So,
and I know it's the other school, but this is Bird's Nest Broadcasting, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention Brian Hudson. I saw he got some love. He graded out #1 in the nation last week by PFF, that does all the scouting for the pros and colleges. You got to think when you're a junior and getting that kind of attention, your draft potential is going to skyrocket.
Sure.
So,
speaking of phenomenal kids, man, family.
Don't get much better than that.
No. Blessed in this county to have, talent at both schools that comes with just being really good people.
Good kids, good parents. Yeah, Louisville's heading in the right direction too. They've had a couple of good. They had a win over UCF early in the season that was like okay, and ever since then UCF's just torched everybody.
Yeah.
So that looks like that's a win that gets your power ranking up in a hurry as the season goes along.
Yeah, Jeremy Hamilton, the Cardinals as well.
Yes, that's right.
I think I saw he got a little bit of run the other day.
I wouldn't surprise me if he got on the field on special teams.
Yeah, I think it was special teams.
Got to get UK back on the right track tomorrow against my president, Mike Leach, and Mississippi State.
What a nut. I love Mike Leach.
I love how the media has caught on now that you ask him the one token football question and then you ask him something about weddings or coffee or something that he's going to expound upon for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Every day on Twitter, there's a Mike Leach soundbite. It's just phenomenal. Last time they came to Kentucky, the team went to the theater at Georgetown. There was a picture of him with the owner over there. I said one of my heroes on this planet was within a mile of my house, and I didn't know he was there. I'm really disappointed. Team's back on the field for the second half of this one, which, hey, you teach the kids to play 48 minutes, and that's what we're going to do tonight.
That's exactly right. Be a quick turnaround in the second half, but look for some positives.
Yeah, as we said, if you're great crossing, you just want to try to move the football a little bit. Not put it on the ground anymore.
Yeah.
And I like the energy at the end of the first half. The offense was finally moved the chains, and then the defense really stepped up with its backs to the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, a little
took care
energy
of
there. I like that. And Larry the Legend is not.
He make a bunch of noise, or you're gonna feel the wrath of Larry Legend.
That's right. He does not have any quit in him. That is for sure.
You want to talk about energy?
Yeah. Staple here. The Odd Couple, the Legend and Steve Maynard.
I know. We talk about
you should
different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, that should be an article you should write. Maybe.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Just the difference in music at the basketball and football versus baseball, where Steve's probably in charge of it.
Yeah, Steve says, well, I got this bluegrass here. We can play some bluegrass.
Maybe some Marshall Tucker band or something like that. Yeah. Warhawks, to add insult to injury, will have to kick off here. But their defense will get a chance to make a statement again.
Yeah.
2 defensive touchdowns have contributed to this margin and several short fields as a result of turnovers. So it's not like the Broncos have run up and down the field, over, around, and through the Warhawks defense. It's just been an accumulation of things.
Yeah, and, it's hard when the defense is put in a tough spot to respond.
Little squib past the 20 to Ty Bryant. Bryant across the 30, heading over toward his own sideline, will get torn down out of bounds at the 37.
Another pink flag toss there.
Well, we get the pink flag on the turf. We'll see what it is. Get Malachi Young in the pink socks with a pink towel as well out there.
Yeah.
Got some pink gloves.
Block below the waist.
Against Douglas. From the spot of the foul, they'll walk off. And they'll start it inside the 30, inside the 25, 15-yard penalty back to the 22. The Broncos, their last drive started at their own 6-yard line and got stopped inside the Great Crossing 5 at the Horn. We'll see what they can do here with a running clock in the third quarter. TJ Horton will go in motion, split out to the right. Handoff is to Devon Hart. He will spin to the 25, and that's it. Yes, he's once again on the KHS AA roster. He is Devon Hart. He is Devon Gibron over the PA, so I don't know which one he goes by, but Devon had a touchdown earlier.
Nice snap.
He takes the handoff here, and a little over pursuit on the high snap will allow Devon to get the first down at the 33. So Douglas moves the chains to start the half. Already a minute gone. Scott County has padded the lead to 42-0. So the running clock has taken over at Moco.
Another weird
Little
snap.
botch. Bad
Yeah.
snaps have been a theme tonight
They
on
have
both
been.
sides. Even Douglas has had some adventures. Carpenter just had to cut his losses there.
Helps put him in a little longer situation on second down.
Yeah, they will lose a yard in the exchange. So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 32. Carpenter still in the shotgun. Got 2 receivers, 1 split each side, 1 in the slot. He will throw it to his running back, Horton, who
Great
gets
stop.
stacked up there. Nice job by the Warhawks. He got
Zach
spun
Morris,
around.
maybe?
Spun around. Morris was in on the exchange, I believe. And who came in and got that last lick? Luka Johnson. No, it's 35, excuse me.
Jacob Romero.
Okay, I was going to say, he's not on the roster as 35. I saw him make a play earlier, and I wanted to give him credit. And no, there's no 35 on here.
Big stop here. Come on, D.
Carpenter throws to the left. He's got Tylon Webb. Webb's been the favorite target tonight. Thrown out of bounds past midfield by Donald Quinn. But it'll be a first down for the Broncos at the Warhawk 48. Broncos on the move once again, trying to stretch a 47-0 lead. They've only been stopped once, and it was basically by the running clock at the end of the first half, although a great play by Caden Allen to etch the exclamation point for the Warhawks defense. Another quick throw to the right.
Oh.
A lot of room over there with a block on the
back.
edge, but an illegal block. They're going to get Webb for that one, and it's going to come back.
It was weird. I don't. It looked like a block in the back, but then he ended up facing him face to
Almost
face.
like a little pick play
Yeah.
that's not going to stand. Clock stops for the discussion at the 8:15 mark. That's about the only thing that will stop the clock, as they will wind it again shortly. First down is 16 is what it's going to amount to. Ball back on Douglas' side of the field momentarily. Scott County now 48-0 with 4:14 to go in the third quarter. So it's like they're in a race with Douglas.
A false start there that did not call. Good play here. Good wrap.
Not much yardage there. They might have gained one with the second effort, but good work again by the Warhawk defense over on the edge.
Yeah, anytime you get those guys in space and make a one-on-one tackle, it's a big play.
They don't require much of a lane to take it to the house. Jesse Shaddix was in on that tackle. 2nd and 15. Broncos have used up almost 5 minutes of this running clock third quarter. Warhawks have yet to have the ball.
Empty backfield here.
Guess we know Carpenter will throw it. He will look over the middle, knock down his receiver as he ran into Caden Allen, and it will be incomplete. Closest man was Isaiah Johnson. He had a man deep downfield, but he wasn't looking at him.
Thank goodness.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. Larry the Legend with the Jaws theme music.
I like it. Georgetown College, For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica is the third down music there. I love that.
The clock is ticking. They may not.
And now 4-3. Are they going to call a timeout? Yes, they are. So the clock will stop. As Douglas will talk it over with 6:28 remaining in the third quarter. They're on top 47-9. And as we said, actually it's 49-0 now in the Scott County game. So the scoreboard had not changed when I updated it.
Yeah, the young kids play tomorrow morning. That should be a good game there.
Great Crossing won the first meeting this year.
Coach Bowling has put them in some good spots playing at Highlands, at Corbin.
They have not messed around. He's kind of preparing for what's to come. Get those kids ready.
Yeah, close games at both of those places. So.
Howard in motion. Carpenter will look his way. And jump the route and almost had it. Romero would have been gone potentially. Horton might have got him going down the sideline. It's incomplete at any rate. And it will be 4th down.
Right, let's see the punter here.
We're actually going to see. I wonder how many times they've punted all season long. I bet it hasn't been many.
This is the same kid that kicks.
Randy, yeah.
Looks like a 17. Let's get a count here. Make sure we got the right people on. Last thing you want to do is give them a free down. I like to see a deep kick here and see Smoke get loose.
That'd be fun. Get on the board somehow. There he's a little rugby punt here. And that's dangerous because it almost took a bounce off of Quinn, but it didn't. They'll let it die inside the 20 at the 18.
The old rugby kick.
Yeah, it gives you – I don't always like it because it seems like it sets you up to get it blocked. But if you do it right, you can get a good roll out of it on turf.
Yeah, UK utilized that for a couple of years when they had Max Duffy. It was phenomenal at doing it. I think he played Australian football.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely
the Mansley there. You ever watch some Australian football?
Back in the good old days of ESPN when I was in high school, that was must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV.
It would be on in like the middle of the night or
On the Ocho.
yeah.
Oh!
Look at this,
Oh,
Zakari. He just
man.
short hopped it to him as Bays had him.
Positives here. He had some time to throw.
He had some time to throw, and he had a man down there. And if he had put it a little deeper on the money, Kelly could have run under it. It would have been 6.
Yep. I'd like to see somebody take a chance on Zakari. You know, he had a phenomenal year last year. Dealt with an injury in the offseason. Has dealt with injuries this year, and of course the injury to Gabe. But
he's another D1
difference.
offered kid. I believe Morehead State offered him it after his junior season. He'll take the catch here.
Yeah.
He'll get the corner out of bounds at the 30. A little bit of a late takedown. He's going to plead his case. Will the Douglas player? But come on.
We'll take it.
Darion Neal says, "What, me?"
Yeah.
And that will be the second for. Actually, that might be a double first down because he had the first down anyway, and then they'll tack on another one. So
Yeah, we'll take 2 of those.
Statistically, you get a double whammy there.
There we go. I like that. Quick out to Zakari. Not a lot of time for Douglas to get on you, on top of you. Let him be an athlete in space.
Great Crossing will have its best field position of the night at the 46-yard line with 3:52 remaining in the third quarter. Trying to drive the length of the turf and get on board here against the Douglas Broncos and have something to smile about. Jaquez Patterson, Clayton Shaddix in the backfield, Bays in the shotgun. He'll hand off to Patterson. Patterson gets stood up.
Oh.
Second effort, though, gets back almost to the line of scrimmage.
Great effort.
Kept his feet. Just plays hard all the time. Frustrated with himself that he couldn't stay on his feet because he saw green ahead.
Yeah, he had some space there, yeah.
2nd and 10 after that. Great Crossing will have a short week and another game here in 6 days against Grant County. 6:30 p.m. kickoff. They'll finish up the regular season the Friday after that over in Shelbyville against Collins. There's a quick throw from Bays to the left-hand side. Across, that's the other Patterson,
Yeah.
across midfield. And for the first time, Great Crossing in Douglas territory after the completion from Caden Bays to Jarius Patterson. Be 3rd and 3. Yeah, take what you can get at this point.
You got 2 plays here for 4 yards.
It is absolutely 4-down territory. Everywhere on the field is 4-down territory at this point. Fakes to Allen, throws it a little high to Kelly, and he couldn't bring it in. It'll be 4th down. Had him open on the right side. Kelly's one of those guys, you put it up there, he can probably go get it, as ESPN can attest.
Yep. I'm not sure I've ever seen Zakari drop a ball. That might be the first
very
drop I've ever
rare. If it's
Phenomenal
anywhere near him, he gets springs and hands. 2 minutes remain, third quarter.
We'll be surprised to go back to the same exact play. That was there. They're bringing house.
Yep. Bays. They ran the same play, but they ran it to Jarius Patterson. Bays overthrew it. It was almost picked off, but it's a turnover on downs either way. The band and the music still going. Good atmosphere here tonight, just not the score that the Warhawks wanted to see. We've got a backup quarterback in the game now.
Yeah, this kid played JV Monday night, left-handed kid. Throws a really, really nice ball. Did some really good things in the Monday night's game.
He is Dury Trahan, 5'7", 175-pound junior.
That also looks inaccurate stat.
No, he is.
Looks like Rohan Davey.
He's definitely got that thickness that Rohan Davey had, former Patriot and LSU Tiger. completes the pass in great crossing territory, knocked down just shy of the 45 by Zach Morris, along with Donald Quinn. Quinn's been getting in some good defensive action here in the second half.
Sophomore young kid, got a bright future. Clock is stopped.
I don't know why the clock is stopped. Did they call a timeout? I guess Douglas has called a timeout with its
I think
young offense in there. I guess they're going to wind it.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. I think they knew that was the last play of the quarter.
Yeah.
47-0 is your score. We've got 12 more minutes in this one.
Broncos shut out in the third quarter.
Woohoo! Small victories.
That's right.
Take what you can get.
That's right.
They have not given up many points this season. I think Bryan Station was 52-7. Bryan Station, a top 10 team in 6A, and Douglas beat them 52-7 on opening night. And that pretty much set the tone for how it was going to go this year. For
I
just
saw
about
that score and I
everybody.
thought,
oh boy. They throttled all their Lexington opponents, Dunbar as well, Tates Creek. And they have run roughshod through the district without allowing a point as of yet. They'll have to play Montgomery County, and then they'll have that Bull County game to wrap it up.
Yeah, that'll be a phenomenal game, that Bull County game.
It's what you want to set up for yourself if you can. Both county teams have a good one at the end, too. Scott County has a couple, as we mentioned. There's another completed pass from Trahan over to his own sideline for a first down at the 39.
Yeah, Ballard having a great year. Shout out to Chris Kenny, AD there, brother of Joy Lusby, principal of Great Crossing.
It's a small world after all.
Yeah, that's right. Could run into Ballard at King of the Bluegrass basketball coming.
That would be a battle for sure. What a tournament that's going to be. Another run up the middle for Douglas. They haven't had to run the ball much. It's been a lot of Carpenter throwing.
Yeah.
Gibron for 7 to the 33. Wonder if there's any talk, maybe as this Great Crossing basketball team ages up, is there any talk of them going back to Myrtle Beach for that tournament?
I think Coach Page has fielded some calls. Isle of the Palms tournament. I think Beach Ball Classic. When you got those caliber kids and high-profile kids,
might as well put them out there.
Yeah,
get them seen. There's a first down, and they're going to get Great Crossing for a late hit as Malachi Young held on just a little bit too long.
It looked like he was trying to hold him up.
Yeah, I was going to say there wasn't any ill intent there, I don't believe, but the officials are keeping a close eye on it. Well, after what we saw in the soccer field last night, I guess I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Didn't involve either one of these schools, but you want to keep control of the game.
You have to, yeah. You got to make sure those kids are safe and doing the right thing.
Half the distance to the goal line will take it to the 13, 10:32 to play. Scott County has hung another touchdown in Montgomery County. The PAT will make it 56-0.
Michael Caba.
I was just going to mention Georgetonian coaching at Montgomery County, and not a lot of mercy being shown. There is a touchdown.
Took the risk, did not pay off.
Gambled, sold out, and it will end up being a 13-yard score. From Trahan to number 81, Darion Talbert.
Yeah, good luck to Coach Caba there. I think he's going to build something good.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, but it'll happen. His son is already getting some minutes over there.
Yeah, great baseball player as well. Of course, Morgan, his daughter, is
another of those Great Crossing volleyball legends from last year that playing at the next level. A lot of D1 talent. Seen Grace Brooker getting some highlights at DePaul, and Ryan Thomas for Tulsa. I guess Reagan McLean transferred to the University of Charleston.
Yeah, I saw that.
And is making an impact there. That's a D2 school, but doing well.
Originally committed to Marshall.
Yeah, she played 1 year there, was on the roster, but
Larry the Legend is calling somebody out. Maybe the kettle or the drum line.
Who's he calling out?
Who is it?
Who did what? PAT was good. It's 54-0. Talking about volleyball and Larry Legend here, but it tells you the nature of the game we're dealing with tonight, folks.
Mr. Larry's drumline. That's who he's called out.
Okay. Kelly and Johnson back to receive the kick. Maybe they can run it back.
Yeah, get a seam, and
come on now.
Those are kind of things you look for in these kind of games.
Something good to send everybody home with a smile.
Yeah. Amen.
Clock stopped for the touchdown, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't in games like this. It's one of those. It's one of those things. There's no hard and fast rule. I got to tell you, I wouldn't break my heart if it did. Granville will kick it through the end zone. This is not a recording. That's at least the 5th touchback of the night. Under the 10-minute mark. So the 2 football games involving county teams tonight, the combined score is 110-0. But the level of opponent is very different.
For 2 teams that have a combined, number of wins between them, they're not playing cupcakes here. This is just a really good Douglas
team. This is just a terrible draw for anyone this season. And tripped up before he can get back to the line of scrimmage is number 29, Michael Pettigrew. So he'll get in the game this week for the 2nd week in a row, get some action.
Hard runner. He has good vision. I watch a lot of these guys in JV games, and really good zone runner Michael is. Sees those holes and
he had some good runs between the tackles last week. He tried to kind of cut it out wide there, and that's not going to work against this defense.
Not his game. They've gone a little wildcat here.
I was going to say, a little keeper there. Jacob Johnson is lined up at Wildcat, a sophomore.
Who can absolutely fly as well. This is exactly what they did Monday night. They put a little wrinkle in and had some success. It was, I think, 24-0 Monday night in the JV game. Came back and scored twice, kind of running this Wildcat offense. So different caliber, but
you figure
the same.
In 4 years, Great Crossing has run the spread, the triple option, kind of a traditional pistol, and now the single wing / Wildcat, whatever you want to call it, depending on which century you live in.
The polecat.
The polecat, of course, on opening night in 2019 was responsible for one of the memorable plays in Great Crossing history.
Ask Coach if he put the polecat in this week. He did not install it.
That's sad. This would have been a perfect place to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to throw the swinging gate at you, you might as well throw the polecat at them.
Coach, you're going to punt here.
Yeah, on your own 27. It's 4th and 3 as Pettigrew couldn't get to the stick there.
Maybe he's got something up his sleeve here.
You never know. Zach Morris jumping up and down doing calisthenics out there. I don't know if he's trying to get someone's attention or.
Do you think he's going to the max after the game?
And a high, I guess it's an okay snap. Fair gets off another not too great of a punt. I thought it was going to take a roll, but it didn't stay in bounds. Angled badly toward the Broncos sideline. And
that's a proverbial hook, I believe they would call that in a golf game.
Broncos will only have to go about 40 yards to fry up a 60 burger tonight. As they've only been stopped once. That was courtesy of Caden Allen inside the 5-yard line on the final play of the first half. Trahan back at quarterback. He threw the last touchdown pass to Talbert. He'll hand it off. A lot of room on the left side. Gets to the corner and across the 25 for Armon Williams. Excuse me, that was Avion Chenault. Nope, excuse me again, Farrell Watts. We got so many kids going into the game for two different teams here that I'm losing my mind. Farrell Watts. Farrell Watts is a kid that I know Coach McPeak is high on. He played a little bit in the Scott County game, and said when they go to him, they don't feel like they drop off much. Trahan threw it over the middle again. Donald Quinn with good coverage, incomplete. Under 5:30 to play. Only 2.5 minutes left at Montgomery County, and Scott County will have its third consecutive shutout. Have to go back in the books to see the last time, if ever, that happened in the McKee era. That's about how far the KHSAA record book goes back. The online goes back to 98. So.
Got to make that stop there.
Second effort, third effort, and finally pushed out of bounds inside the 20 is Watts. Now, that might have been a different back this time, and again. Looks like James Mickey. Clayton Shaddix pushed him out of bounds. Third and
Honey
6.
Badger, they call.
Hell yeah. Badger had a very nice game at Montgomery County, and he has been a rising star on this team this year. Oh, what a stick! Malachi Young. The hit of the night.
Yeah.
That will be the highlight of the night for Great Crossing.
Yeah, take him when you can get him.
He met Malley.
Man.
That was a takedown from the wrestler.
Yeah.
4th and 3. He just got run over by the man with the pink towel flying. Right.
Let's go stop here, D. Come on. Come flying in here.
High snap. Mickey.
Oh,
taken down. Turnover on downs. They forced a punt in the second half, and now they'll get a turnover on downs. That's a great stop by the Warhawks. That is Logan Clayton, the sophomore, 5'9", 181-pound linebacker. That'll give the offense 3 minutes to work with. We'll tweet out credit to Malachi and Logan for their stops on that because there haven't been many highlights tonight.
Yeah, that's a little showcase of some younger talent there with Logan.
2:45 to play.
We'll back to the Wildcat here.
At the 16. We'll see what they can do with that formation.
See Smoke Jr. get loose here.
Indeed.
He's got wheels.
Squirting free at the 25, the 30, the 35, out of bounds. First down, Warhawks, 2:25 to play. And here comes the pink flag flying. Maybe a late hit. If it is, it'll put the Warhawks on the Broncos side of the field for the second time, or at least at midfield. 20-yard run. They're just going to wave it off, or what are they doing here? Nope.
Offsetting?
Yep, it's going to be on Douglas.
All right.
First down at the Douglas 49 once they mark it, 2:24 to play. Wouldn't you love to score here? And
yeah. A little positive mo going in Thursday's game. I wouldn't be surprised on Thursday if you don't see a little more of this right here. This seems
I think they might be on to something here. Give it a try. What do you got to lose? Especially in a game like Grant County where you're favored.
Pettigrew
Sweep for Pettigrew inside the 45, the 40, down to the 37. Another first down. Warhawks on the move. Their best drive of the evening is at the Frederick Douglass 37. Under 2 minutes to go. Little hurry up offense in the Wildcat. He'll keep it. Will Johnson to the 30.
Another hard run.
The effort will take him to the 28.
We got 3 timeouts. How bad do you
How
want to score?
How bad do you want it? Yeah. Scott County has its third consecutive shutout, 56-0 over Montgomery County.
Yeah, think about, Douglas has done this to Scott County and Great Crossing. It could get really ugly against a couple other teams in our district.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the highlights of Frederick Douglass, Grant County. I could only imagine what it looked like.
I don't know what the final score was of that. But
57-0, I believe. Yeah. 33 seconds. He probably got this one play to punch it in. Johnson to the 20, corner to the 15, the 10. He's down. Will they use a timeout?
He's going to. Coach plays to win. Yeah.
He generally in this situation he has. I didn't know, judging by the rest of this drive, I didn't know. But maybe he was saying, okay, maybe if we get down inside the 20.
Yeah, give it a positive play there.
Four chances, well, at least a couple of chances to punch it in here from the 10-yard line. First and goal, 21.4 seconds. Warhawks trying to avoid the shutout. They will be 6-2 overall, 1-2 in the district going into next Thursday against Grant County. And they'll deal with Mr. Kenyon Gooden and the Collins Titans.
Kid's good, man.
Yeah, he is a multi-sport problem. Basketball, he single-handedly beat Scott County last year. It's tough.
So they pull out of here. Johnson over in the dirt. A little playground football here. A little counter.
Yeah, Johnson, nothing there. He's down at the 9.
Might let this one go.
2 timeouts. Yep, timeout. 17.6 seconds. I think you got to throw it here.
Yeah,
you got to. I don't care who throws it. I don't know if you want to do a little halfback option or something. I don't know.
Yeah, oop you maybe.
Little double pass like Georgetown College used last week.
Yeah.
New England Patriots have used a couple of times over the years.
I love the hook and lateral. That's a
that one too. Inside the 10 though, it's a little tough.
Yeah, a little
Statue of Liberty maybe.
Yeah.
Call Boise State and ask what they would do in this situation.
Man, I was watching the highlights of that game the other day against Oklahoma. What a finish to that game!
I still can't believe it to this day.
I mean,
and then he proposes to his
guts.
girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, talk about guts.
Yeah. That was one for the ages. Yeah, Big Game Bob didn't have a good ending to that one.
No.
All right, 17.6 seconds. Warhawks.
Coach, maybe he's not kicking a field goal here. Honestly, just to get someone on the board.
Just do it.
And he.
We'll throw it. A little jump pass that's picked off.
Oh no!
Oh, fumbled inside the 5.
Incomplete.
Douglas recovered. They're going to call it incomplete. They're going to call it a touchback. They're going to say his knee was down.
Call a timeout, coach. Because the field goal. Yeah, you're right. They had to throw it, but great job by those young kids at the end.
They fought.
Yeah, that's all you can ask in this kind of game. I mean, the wheels fell off early on, and all you can ask.
think that was the 5th turnover of the game, but it was an effort turnover, and you can't complain about those. Well, that's it from Bird's Nest Stadium. 54-0. Your final score. Frederick Douglass goes to 8-0. Great Crossing drops to 6-2 once again Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. right here. GC against GC. Great Crossing and Grant County. Austin, it's been fun.
Yeah,
We'll
thank
do
you
it
so much for
again
having
somewhere
me.
down
Yeah,
the road. I'm
definitely.
glad you could fill in tonight on behalf of Austin Haywood, on behalf of James Scoggin and Brett Smith in the booth, DT Wells, Mike Scoggin behind the scenes making this all work, and all our corporate sponsors. I'm merely Cal Oak saying good night, God bless. From the Bird's Nest Broadcast Studios, your final score one more time. Frederick Douglass 54. Great Crossing, nothing. See you next week, folks.